I thought I knew everything about Madison after 3 years together. We had planned our perfect wedding set for 2 weeks, away at a beautiful vineyard in Oregon. That Saturday night, I was home alone arranging wedding favors and double-checking our guest list when my phone buzzed with an Instagram notification. Madison was live streaming from her bachelorette party at Lake Tahoe. I smiled, expecting to see her having fun with the girls, maybe a little tipsy champagne celebration. I had no idea that clicking on that live stream would completely shatter everything I believed about our relationship and show me exactly what my fiancé really thought of me. Before I begin this story, please let me know where you are watching from, and do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories like this one. Because sometimes the truth comes from the most unexpected places, and what I discovered that night changed everything I thought I knew about love. Madison and I first met 3 years ago at a small coffee shop in downtown Portland. I was grabbing my usual morning latte before work when this gorgeous woman with auburn hair and the most genuine smile approached my table. She had noticed my laptop stickers from various art museums and struck up a conversation about graphic design, which turned out to be her profession. I worked in marketing for a sustainable clothing company, and we discovered we shared a passion for creativity and environmental consciousness. Our relationship developed naturally over months of coffee dates, gallery walks, and weekend trips to the Oregon coast. Madison was everything I thought I wanted in a partner: intelligent, artistic, and seemingly caring. When I proposed to her last year during a sunset picnic at Cannon Beach, she cried happy tears and said yes without hesitation. We moved in together shortly after, and I purchased a beautiful 2-bedroom house in the suburbs with a garden where Madison could set up her art studio. Planning our wedding became my primary focus. We chose an intimate vineyard ceremony for 120 guests with a budget of $50,000. Madison had recently transitioned to freelance work, so her income was inconsistent, which meant I covered most of the wedding expenses. The venue, catering, photography, flowers, and her dream dress all came from my savings. I did not mind because I loved her and wanted our special day to be perfect. Madison suggested celebrating her bachelorette party with 8 close friends at Lake Tahoe. They rented a luxury lakeside suite for 3 nights, complete with spa treatments and fine dining reservations. Again, I helped with the costs because I wanted her to enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime experience with her closest girlfriends. That evening, I was contentedly working at our dining room table, surrounded by small gift boxes and personalized thank you cards. Around 9 o'clock, my phone chimed with the Instagram Live notification. The thumbnail showed Madison and her friends in what appeared to be an elegantly appointed hotel suite, champagne glasses raised in celebration. I clicked on the stream, eager to catch a glimpse of her happiness. Initially, everything looked wonderful. Madison wore a white silk robe with "Bride" embroidered on the back, a sash across her chest, and a small tiara. Her friends surrounded her on a plush sofa, all holding champagne flutes. The room was beautifully decorated with white and gold balloons, and soft music played in the background. The audio was slightly muffled through my phone speaker, so I grabbed my headphones to hear their conversation more clearly. Madison appeared to have been drinking for a while. Her cheeks were flushed and she spoke more loudly than usual, gesturing animatedly as she talked to the camera. When one of her friends asked about final wedding preparations, Madison replied with an odd tone that I had never heard before. "Well, we will see how everything goes." The comment struck me as strange because we had spent weeks finalizing every detail. Everything was confirmed and paid for. Why would she sound uncertain? I assumed it was just the champagne talking, but something in her voice made me uncomfortable. Madison began mentioning relationship challenges that she had never discussed with me, speaking as if these were ongoing issues that her friends were already aware of. The camera angle shifted closer as her friends gathered around her on the sofa, creating an intimate, girls' talk atmosphere. I could see about 40 viewers watching the stream, with occasional heart emojis and comments appearing on the screen. Madison seemed completely unaware that her private conversation was being broadcast to strangers, including her fiancé. Jessica, Madison's college roommate and maid of honor, refilled everyone's glasses and asked directly, "So are you really happy with Erica?" The question felt like a punch to my stomach. Why would Jessica phrase it that way, as if my happiness was something questionable? Madison paused, swirling the champagne in her glass before responding. I mean, she is stable, she has money, she takes care of everything. Her words hit me like ice water. She spoke about me the way someone might describe a reliable car or a good insurance policy, not the person they were planning to marry in 2 weeks. But that is not what I asked, Jessica pressed. Are you happy? Are you in love? Madison laughed nervously and looked directly into the camera, completely unaware that I was watching. There are things that matter in a relationship, you know, things that go beyond just compatibility on paper. The other women leaned in, closer, sensing drama. Sarah, another bridesmaid, encouraged her. Come on, girl, if you cannot talk about it now with your best friends, when can you spill the tea? I could feel my heart pounding as I watched Madison consider whether to continue. The livestream had gained more viewers, now showing 53 people watching. Comments began appearing more frequently, with strangers encouraging her to tell the truth and be honest about her feelings. Madison took a large sip of champagne and made her decision. Fine, you want to know the truth. She is absolutely terrible in bed. Like embarrassingly pathetic. The room erupted in gasps and laughter. I felt like someone had physically slapped me across the face. My hands began shaking as I held my phone, but I could not look away from the screen. No way, really, another friend asked, clearly delighted by this revelation. Madison continued, her voice growing more animated. No passion, no skill, just awkward fumbling. I have to fake it every single time just to get it over with. There is zero chemistry between us physically. The women around her made sympathetic noises mixed with shocked giggles. Someone off camera said, "That is awful, honey. Physical connection is so important." My entire body felt numb. 3 years of what I thought was a satisfying, intimate relationship had apparently been a complete lie. Every moment of tenderness, every time she had seemed to enjoy our physical connection, had been an elaborate performance. Sarah, emboldened by the champagne and the supportive atmosphere, asked the question that would change everything. So why are you marrying her, then? Madison gestured around the luxurious suite and looked down at her engagement ring, a 2-carat diamond that had cost me 3 months' salary. Look at this place, look at this ring, look at the wedding she is paying for. The house, the stability, the security. It is complicated. But what about love? Jessica asked gently. What about attraction and desire? I love her as a person, Madison replied, her voice taking on a defensive tone. She is kind and responsible, and she treats me well. But sexually, there is absolutely nothing there. Zero attraction, zero excitement. I feel nothing when she touches me. My vision became blurry as tears formed in my eyes, but I forced myself to keep watching. I needed to hear all of it. I started recording the screen with my phone's screen recording function, my hands trembling, but my determination growing stronger. The livestream viewers had increased to over 60 people, and comments were flowing steadily. Some viewers expressed sympathy for Madison, while others questioned why she was marrying someone she did not desire. The conversation had become entertainment for strangers, my private relationship dissected for public consumption. As I continued recording, Sarah asked the most devastating question yet. Have you seriously thought about calling off the wedding? Madison's response came without hesitation. Every single day. But look around this room, look at the life she provides. Would I really throw away financial security and stability for what? The hope that someone better might come along someday. The other women fell silent, clearly uncomfortable with the calculated nature of her reasoning. Finally, Jessica spoke up. Honey, you deserve more than just security. You deserve to be with someone who makes your heart race. I know. Madison sighed, finishing her champagne. Maybe I will figure something out after the wedding. Maybe I will just learn to accept that this is what adult relationships look like. Not everyone gets fairy tale romance, right? Another friend whom I recognized as her coworker, Amy, added, But Erica seems to really love you. Does not she deserve to be with someone who actually wants her? Madison shrugged dismissively. She's happy. She thinks everything is perfect between us. Sometimes ignorance truly is bliss. You know, why ruin something that works on paper? The casual cruelty of her words took my breath away. She had been lying to my face for years, allowing me to believe in a love that existed only in my imagination. While I had been planning our future together, she had been enduring my touch and calculating the financial benefits of our relationship. The live stream had attracted nearly 70 viewers now, and the comment section buzzed with reactions. Some people defended Madison's right to prioritize stability, while others called her mercenary and selfish. A few comments suggested that I deserved to know the truth about what my fiancé really thought of me. That gave me an idea. I opened Instagram on my laptop and logged into a backup account that Madison did not know about, one I'd created years ago for work purposes but rarely used. My hands were steady now, my decision crystallizing into cold determination. I typed carefully, "Hi Madison, it is Erica. Thank you for the honest review of our relationship and your detailed thoughts about our intimate life. Very enlightening to finally hear your true feelings." I posted the comment just as Madison was elaborating on the sacrifices she was making by staying with me. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Madison's face went pale as she read the comment, and she nearly dropped her champagne glass. "Oh my God," she whispered frantically, trying to end the live stream. But the damage was already done. The other women crowded around her phone, reading the comment, and the stream's viewer count had jumped to over 80 people. "Is that really her?" Jessica asked in horror. "How long has she been watching?" Sarah demanded. Madison finally managed to end the live stream, but I had captured everything on video. My phone immediately began buzzing with incoming calls from her, but I declined each one. Instead, I sent her a single text message: "We need to talk, but not tonight. Please enjoy the rest of your party." Her response came in a flood of frantic messages. "Baby, I can explain. I was drunk. I did not mean any of it. Please answer your phone. The girls pressured me to say those things. You know I love you." But I did not respond. I had more important calls to make. The first person I contacted was Madison's father, George, who had always treated me like the daughter he never had. He lived about 20 minutes away and often invited me over for Sunday dinners even when Madison was too busy with work to join us. He had expressed genuine excitement about our upcoming wedding and had even offered to walk Madison down the aisle since her mother had passed away years earlier. "Erica, is everything all right?" George answered on the second ring, concern evident in his voice because I rarely called so late. "Hi, George. I am sorry to disturb you, but I need to share something important about Madison that I think you should know." I explained the situation calmly and objectively, then sent him the video I had recorded. The silence that followed was deafening. When George finally spoke, his voice was tight with anger and disappointment. "I raised her better than this. I am so sorry, Erica. You do not deserve this treatment." "I wanted you to hear it from me first," I said. "I will be canceling the wedding, obviously. I know you had planned to give a speech." "You are making the right decision," he replied firmly. "I will handle Madison when she gets home. And Erica, you will always be welcome in my home, regardless of what happens between you and my daughter." Next, I called my wedding planner, Caroline, despite the late hour. She had become a friend during the planning process and had given me her personal number for emergencies. This certainly qualified. "Caroline, this is Erica. I need to cancel the wedding. Everything. As soon as possible." "Oh, honey, what happened? Are you sure about this?" "Completely sure. I will accept whatever financial penalties we incur. I need vendors contacted first thing Monday morning." Caroline, to her credit, did not ask for details. "I will take care of everything. The venue, catering, flowers, photography, music. I will try to minimize the financial impact, but given the short notice..." "Money is not the primary concern right now," I assured her. "I just need it done." I spent the next hour systematically canceling or attempting to cancel every aspect of our wedding. Some vendors would not answer their phones until Monday, but I left detailed voicemails explaining the situation. The financial loss would be substantial, probably close to $30,000, but the alternative was marrying someone who saw me as a convenient source of financial security rather than a partner. Madison arrived home at 6 o'clock Sunday morning, having caught the earliest flight out of Reno. I heard her car in the driveway and watched from the window as she struggled with the front door. I had changed the locks the previous day. "Erica," she called through the door. "Please let me in. We need to talk about this." I opened the door but did not step aside to let her enter. She looked terrible, smudged makeup, wrinkled clothes, and eyes red from crying or lack of sleep. Her usual confidence had completely disappeared. "I am so sorry," she began immediately. "I was drunk, I was showing off for the girls, I said things I did not mean. You have to believe me." "Which parts were lies?" I asked calmly. "The part where you called me pathetic in bed. The part where you said you fake orgasms. The part where you admitted you are only marrying me for financial security. Or the part where you said you think about calling off our wedding every single day." Madison's face crumpled. "It is not that simple. Yes, I have doubts sometimes, but every couple does. Yes, our physical relationship could be better, but we can work on that. The important thing is that I love you and I want to marry you." "You do not marry someone you are settling for," I replied. "And I certainly will not marry someone who sees me as a meal ticket with benefits." "That is not fair. I never said that." "Actually, you did. To 73 strangers on the internet. While wearing the robe I bought you, drinking champagne I paid for in a hotel suite I helped finance." Madison tried a different approach. "Look, I admit I said terrible things. I hurt you and I hate myself for that. But relationships are complicated. We have built a life together. We have the house, our friends, our plans. Do you really want to throw all of that away because of some stupid comments I made while drunk?" Her words confirmed everything I had heard in the live stream. She was thinking about our relationship in terms of assets and investments, not love and partnership. "Madison, I want you to pack your belongings and stay somewhere else while you figure out your next steps. My name is on the mortgage, and I will be staying in the house. You cannot be serious. Where am I supposed to go?" "Your father has some suggestions about that, actually. You should call him." The fear in her eyes told me that George had already spoken to her, probably expressing his disappointment in terms that left no room for misunderstanding. Over the following weeks, the full scope of the situation became clear. Friends and family members wanted to understand what had happened to cause such a sudden wedding cancellation. I decided to be honest about the circumstances, sharing the story with close friends and family members who asked directly. The response surprised me. Multiple women confided that they had been in similar situations, engaged to or married to men they were not physically attracted to, staying for security rather than passion. My decision to leave encouraged two friends to examine their own relationships more honestly. The financial loss from the wedding cancellation was significant but not devastating. I had to use most of my emergency savings to cover the vendor penalties, but I realized that no amount of money was worth spending a lifetime in a relationship built on deception. Madison moved back in with her father temporarily, then found a small apartment across town. She made several attempts to reconcile, sending flowers, letters, and even showing up at my workplace. Her messages evolved from apology to anger to bargaining, but I remained firm in my decision. The most difficult part was grieving the relationship I thought we had shared. For 3 years, I'd believed in a mutual love and attraction that had apparently existed only in my imagination. Every intimate moment we had shared was retroactively tainted by the knowledge that she had been enduring rather than enjoying my touch. Therapy helped me process the experience and understand the warning signs I had missed. Madison's occasional reluctance to initiate physical intimacy, her tendency to prioritize my financial contributions over emotional connections, and her pattern of deflecting serious conversations about our future suddenly made perfect sense. 6 months later, I could honestly say that canceling the wedding was the best decision I ever made. The initial pain and embarrassment had faded, replaced by a deep sense of relief and self-respect. My relationship with George remained strong. He invited me for dinner regularly and often expressed his continued disappointment in Madison's behavior. "You were the best thing that ever happened to her," he told me one evening. "I hope she realizes what she lost, but I doubt she will." Professional colleagues respected my decision when they learned the full story. My boss, a woman in her 50s who had been through her own difficult divorce, told me, "It takes courage to walk away from security when you know you deserve more than just financial stability." Dating again felt intimidating initially, but therapy had helped me establish clearer boundaries and expectations. I learned to pay attention to actions rather than words, to notice when someone seemed more interested in my financial stability than my personality, and to trust my instincts when something felt wrong. The house felt peaceful, now filled only with positive energy. I converted Madison's former art studio into a home office and began freelance consulting work that brought in additional income and personal satisfaction. Madison attempted to reach out a few times during the first few months, usually when she was struggling financially or when mutual friends mentioned seeing me happy and successful. I kept our interactions brief and cordial, but never wavered in my decision. 1 year after the canceled wedding, I ran into Jessica at a coffee shop downtown. She approached me hesitantly, clearly uncomfortable, but determined to speak. "I owe you an apology," she said. "That night at the Bachelorette party, we should have told Madison to stop talking. We should have reminded her that live streaming private conversations was wrong. I feel terrible about my part in what happened." "Thank you for saying that," I replied genuinely. But ultimately, those were her words and her feelings. You just happened to be present when she chose to share them publicly. Jessica nodded sadly. For what it is worth, she regrets losing you. She has not been in a serious relationship since, and her dating life has been pretty disastrous. I think she finally realizes what she had. "I hope she finds happiness," I said, and I meant it. But more importantly, I hope she learns to value herself enough to only enter relationships based on genuine attraction and love, not just security. The experience taught me that love without respect and desire is not really love at all. It is a business arrangement disguised as romance, and everyone involved deserves better than that. I learned to value honesty over comfort even when the truth was painful. Madison's drunken livestream had been devastating, but it had also been a gift in disguise. It revealed the reality of our relationship before I committed legally and emotionally to a lifetime of pretense. Most importantly, I discovered that being alone and respected is infinitely better than being partnered and resented. My worth was not measured by someone else's willingness to settle for me, but by my courage to demand the genuine love and attraction I actually deserved. As I reflect on that terrible night when I accidentally discovered my fiancé's true feelings, I feel grateful rather than bitter. She saved us both from a marriage that would have made us both miserable, even if that was not her intention. Sometimes the most painful truths come wrapped in champagne and live streams delivered by the people we trust most. But I learned that night that my worth is not negotiable, and neither is my right to be loved completely and genuinely by the person I choose to marry. The right person will value everything I bring to a relationship, not just the parts that make their life easier or more secure. Until I find that person, I am perfectly content being single, financially independent, and emotionally honest about what I will and will not accept in love. Have you ever discovered something about your relationship that completely changed your perspective? How do you think you would handle finding out your partner's true feelings in such a public way? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because I would love to hear your experiences and advice. Please like this video if my story resonated with you, subscribe for more honest relationship stories, and share this with anyone who might need to hear that they deserve genuine love and respect. Thank you for listening to my story, and remember that you are worth more than someone's convenient choice. You deserve to be someone's enthusiastic yes, not their reluctant maybe.